In this episode, we are going to talk about praying without ceasing. That is a phrase from the Bible by Paul, one of the writers of the Bible. And what does he actually mean by that in more detail? I think everyone has some experience with praying. Research shows, studies have been conducted on who prays, how many people pray, just on the street with interviews. And it turned out that 75% of all people pray at least once. That can happen in many different ways. For many people, especially when something difficult happens, it's like a sigh upwards of, "Oh God." That is also, in a way of praying. For others, it is lying on your knees, hands together, eyes closed, and then focusing on God in a reverent manner, trying to truly be in conversation with Him. But what does it mean to pray without ceasing? I think that Paul, the Bible writer, indeed means that praying, as a form of communication with God, is also indeed a significant way of life. Praying is not just a moment when you put your hands together and close your eyes, but it is also understanding that God is with you throughout the entire day and night. He promised that in the Bible, and His presence is always with you. I will be with you. He is there. So praying is having contact with God in a way similar to how you have contact with a loved one here on earth. I am actually married, and when I am at home with my wife, it doesn't mean that I am talking to her all day long. We don't need to say something constantly. Or when you are walking with a good friend or something, you are not talking to each other all the time. And yet, you enjoy each other's presence. You know, he is there, he walks beside me, or she is there, she is with me in the house. And then it is good. You can always have a moment of contact, but it doesn't always have to be. Well, that is also always a form of praying. Praying is realizing that God is with you in some way or another, in your heart and mind. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't feel it, but He is always there. And you just only need to close your eyes for a moment, so to speak, or simply take a glance upwards, and He is there. You feel that He is with you. So praying is indeed a kind of way of life, realizing He is with me. And you don't need words for that either, a bit. At the same time, you can share everything with Him. So pray without ceasing also means that no matter what circumstances you are in or where you are, you can always seek that contact with God. In the car, at work, at home, on the bike, and wherever you are, in various situations and places. It is so close, so easy that you just need to focus for a moment. "Oh Lord, you are with me." For example, that's how I do it. "Oh Lord, you are with me." And then you know it again, then you feel it again. "Ah, He is there, it is good." So pray without ceasing means you don't need words, you realize He is with you. At the same time, you should know that wherever I am and whatever happens, I can always have a moment of contact with Him. And the third thing I want to say about it is, pray without ceasing means He is with me. I know it. I don't always need to say something, but I can also learn to listen. Praying is not just talking to God. Praying is also listening to God. And that's something I'm really learning myself. It's a new discovery for me, and I'm really enjoying it. Just by being silent for a moment now and then. For example, not turning on the radio in the car, but for a moment in silence and then concentrate. "Lord, you are with me. I know that you love me." You say that in the Bible. And what do you want to say to me? Because it is truly mutual contact. I talk to God, but God also wants to say something to me. And that means you just listen inwardly a little bit. And the thoughts that come to you, especially when you realize that you are together with God, those thoughts could very well be thoughts from God. Words that God places in you to encourage you, or to comfort you, or to guide you in a certain direction in your life, or you should definitely try it sometime. There's a little trick to it though. I've tried it a few times myself. What I do is that I write down a prayer I have in a notebook every single day. I bought a special notebook for that. Then I write that prayer in the notebook, "Dear Father," I might say, or "Dear God." And then, well, what I want to ask God, I write that down. You know, whatever ideas and thoughts come to me, I think I write them down. And then I look, when I'm done, I sometimes look at what I've written, and then I really notice, oh, how really cool, very cool. I would never have said it that way or thought of it like that myself. This must be from God. And that is always encouraging. That is always something that lifts me above things or helps me in my daily life. And in this way, you can practice listening to God more attentively. So praying without ceasing means that you don't always have to sit on your knees, that it's not a specific moment, but that God is present somewhere in the back of your mind throughout the day, guiding you and giving you strength, that you can always be in contact with Him, and that He is always in contact with you, that He speaks to you. Praying is a way of life in our daily lives, a way of life together with God each and every day. Then we will try it out shortly. You can also try this course. And then for the next episode, I want to challenge you in advance. We will emphasize the exact opposite side of praying. Then it talks about how sometimes you do need moments to really concentrate, to really sit down for it. But that will come next time.